Ladies and gentlemen, as children of God, we understand what's going on in the world. You see, people are doing the things that they're doing because they have been deceived. They have been deceived. And ladies and gentlemen, when you are deceived, you got an excuse. You really do not know any better. But when your eyes are open, that means you've had a spiritual encounter. Your eyes are open. That means you can see. Now, when you couldn't see, you had an excuse. But now that you can see, is your excuse you stuck your head down in the sand? No, it means you really don't know. It really do not know. So there's a difference. To walk in darkness, you do all the things that's done in darkness. To have your eyes open and see the light, you do what is done in the light. And those who are in darkness, who are stumbling over all of the debris, stumbling blocks, it is your duty who can see to remove that stuff, to make sure that everything that can possibly be done to open their eyes is done by you. Otherwise, what good is it doing you to have your eyes open? What good does it do all of you mega people who go to church every Sunday and talking religion and talking Christianity and talking about nationalism? What good is it when you have no idea about God? You don't know nothing about God. You got people around there talking about God, talking about getting guns and thanking God for AK-47s. What kind of stuff is that? You got people over there talking to millions of people, getting all those people's money, telling them that God has sent Donald Trump over here to save y'all. What kind of foolishness is that? But if you don't know, you don't know. And the things that you do represent what you do know. Now, I know all you Christians think that, well, this is the world we live in. Everybody got to eat, everybody got to do this, and that's the world system is set up. So you got to just be in the world system just like everybody else. And you can go to church on Sunday, that identifies you because you can dress good and put on some clothes and go to church and say you love God. And everybody that's out there in the streets that's suffering is a testimony that you don't know a damn thing about God. All you know is what you've been taught. What you've been taught. And ladies and gentlemen, when you are ignorant and you don't know the truth, people can teach you anything and you will buy into it. Let me tell you something. And you got to be careful. I've called myself knowing the truth for quite some time. Not all of it. Just little measures of it and walking according to it. One time, a few years ago, I heard something on social media news outlet. I guess it was a news outlet or propaganda outlet. And they were talking about Columbine. They were talking about these kids that all were supposed to have been killed. And there was a guy there by the name of Alex Jones saying these people were not really murdered, saying that these kids were actors, that these kids were being paid, their parents were being paid, and they were going from one location where disasters have occurred to others, being planted out. And when you hear that kind of stuff, how in the world can you believe that some human being would get on a media that can reach thousands and millions of people and blast out a lie like that? Blast out a lie like that. Somebody saying that, you got to be telling the truth. And then you look around for other media sources like the regular media, and you don't hear them saying a thing about it beyond that the incident occurred. And then there's other voices saying that the reason that you don't hear more is because they're covering it up. They're covering it up. They're covering it up. That's why you don't hear anything. So all of a sudden you start thinking maybe this guy's telling the truth, and now you're listening to everything he says to see if he's telling the truth, to see what's going to happen, see what's going to be done, to give some freedom from this hell, and nothing is done. But if you keep researching, all of a sudden you start finding out that maybe there's something wrong about this, something wrong about that. Just keep on researching, and then you start coming to the light. You start finding out that you've been deceived, that you've been lied to. Ladies and gentlemen, how many people in this country believed Alex Jones? Enough of them believed him to make him rich. Enough of them believed him to buy that snake oil he was selling. But don't start with Alex Jones. Look at the lie the President of the United States told. He came and told a lie before it happened. He says they're going to steal it. The only way they can win is steal it. What the hell that mean? Nobody voted? Who are you so darn good that nobody's going to vote against you? That's what you were proclaiming. Nobody's going to vote against you, at least to the extent that you lose. That's what you start, because you knew, why did you do this? because you were a thief, because you're a con artist. You were setting up to understand that you were going to lose, and the only way you could win was to steal. So you had everybody pointing, looking at everybody else, talking about what they were going to steal while you were doing everything you could possibly do to steal. And the people bought into it. A third of the nation bought into it. They're evil, my friends, coming at you, and you were blind. You cannot see. You cannot see. Now, what in the heck does these people who listen to Donald Trump, who bought into all of those lies, gonna get in office now and tell you control your life? And what is the church gonna do? Sit up there every Sunday having their services and talking about what somebody did, and yet going out there every day going along with whatever they did, going back saying people had a second-class citizen? The church saying this, agreeing with it, going back saying that people can lose their property, a land or whatever, or people can be treated as slaves. All of this take away their right to vote. This is the church going along with that stuff, and then trying to do it in the name of God. The devils, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, the name of the game is peace, prosperity, freedom, happiness, joy of life. Fulfill dreams, your needs, your wants, and your desires met. This is what the power that made this earth designed it for, and gave us a choice to receive it if we want to or not. And when we come down here on this earth and we do the things we do, there are those who represent whether they have not received it, or those who represent they have. Those who do not receive it or have not received it go along with everything that's out there. They don't care what it is. They'll buy into any lie. But those who have received it won't buy into any lie. And you know it because they stand up for what's right. Yes, you need food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, but none of it means a darn thing if you cannot live according to God's principles of life. Doesn't mean a thing if you can't live unto the principles of God's order of life. And if you think that there's anything other than that, that's because you're blind and you're serving Satan. Now, going to church, are you going along thanking God for your good job while other folks out there on the streets with a sign saying, "Help me, please," and you keep on talking about, "Praise the Lord"? Look, I think I said enough. You got to wake yourself up or you're going to be burning in hell.